Welcome back to Command Block Crash Course, everybody. This is not the Command Block Crash Course world. It is my preset world, or the world I use when I first start a map. Now, a few people use this type of setup, and it's very efficient if you want to create a map without having to reset everything up. Think of it as a template for other programs. And so what you do is you add in a chunk, or it doesn't have to be a chunk, but you add in lines of commands that you want to use pretty much universally, or that may have use in more than one map. And you also want to create lines like this to group code, so that you can be more organized, which is something a lot of people have problems with. And so this is my preset world. I think I call it default custom map. And I'm going to run through some of the things I have on here. So first of all, we've got difficulties, and here's signs in case if I want to upload this. I'll upload it when this is all better, and or if you guys really want it, I guess I could do that. But the first thing is difficulties, and what this does is, instead of just doing one thing to change the difficulty, you can add more. So maybe you want more items to be lost upon death, or more coins or something. And so all you have to do is run this command, and if you see, for a split second a redstone block appears for the difficulty that you set it to. Whoops. And so we've got the 3 difficulties, and then other commands, so you can put in whatever commands you want. So if you put it on easy, you could say set a redstone block to a repeating command block that does something, makes the mobs easier to fight or whatever. And so this is a interesting, I don't know, haven't really found a use for this in any of my maps yet, but I might add it before too long. And so that's just the difficulties. It's pretty straightforward, really. Next we have the game rule. Almost every preset custom map has game rules in it. And we just have game rules, so if you want fire tick to be on, if you want it to be off, and these just toggle it. Sorry if you hear anything in the background, it's storming, and there might be people running around, you know. Anyways, command block output. Good choice, fam. Yeah, that's just there to be kind of funny. And so yeah, these are just the different game rules. Some of them I can't really affect. For example, tick speed, you can't really edit that with 2 commands, so I've left that out. Moving on from that, we've got the module that I guess you could say stereotypes all types of mobs. And what I mean by that is, break in here, it gives every undead mob the tag undead. And so if you want to classify different mobs for different things, maybe you want to have a certain projectile that damages all entities, including yourself, or including another player. But you can't just use instant damage, because that'll actually heal undead mobs. So this will differentiate it. It's off by default, because it's not always useful. But there's also room if you want to expand it. There we go. Okay, so moving on from the stereotyping module, I like to call, we've got the no music. Fancy. And what this does is it just turns off music, so if you've got it just shuts off music. So that's pretty cool if you don't want music. And this is just for sound in general, so if you've got custom sounds, you could add it to this row, or you could stack it on top of this chunk. And yeah, this just cancels out all the music. Next is my favorite. We've got Creative Plus, and this gives you tools that help you, well, I mean, you can just read this. Tools in your inventory to enhance the creative game mode. It's off by default, and so all we have to do is go over here and press enter Creative Plus. And you don't see anything here, but they appear up here. And so we've got Splash Potion that heals you fully, Entity Remover if you've got really high health mob and you don't really want to attack it 1,000 times, or you don't want to run a command, you can just click it. Stake for if you want to switch game modes. And then we've also got Spawn Night and Spawn Day. So Spawn Day, Spawn Night, and you also have night vision in this game mode, or Creative Plus that is. And finally we've got this, which is really fun to use. So if I even go into game mode 2, let's grab a couple of these. I'm not very good flyer. Here we go. But this is the longest possible flight. It's like a minute and some seconds. So it'd be really fun to play as a map. And also one last thing for Creative Plus. If you go back into Creative, it says click here to edit code, and maybe you're far away, and you want to edit the code, you just click here and it takes you right back to spawn. In spawn I mean where the code pretty much starts. Gotta love this bug. Well, it's not really a bug, it's just kind of funny. And so that's pretty much it for Creative Plus. You can just click here to exit it and clear your inventory. And that brings us to our last thing, which is this is what happens when you first spawn in the world. So first of all, we've got test. So if you want to test what happens to see if everything sets up right, we've got a scoreboard team for lobby, and that's just so you could have a lobby up there. Not every game or map that you make needs the lobby team, so you can just remove that if you want. Also, we've got this, which teleports them, or when they first join the world, it adds spawn, and it detects whether they have spawn for most of these commands, and it teleports or joins them to lobby team. It sets them their game mode to 2, and then it teleports them all the way up in that block up there that you can see. And then I left some commands blank if you want to want to go with additional setups for the map. Ooh, that was some big thunder. It's dark outside. So we've got at the very end of this line, after all your commands, it's just a couple commands that helps make everything work. So I'm going to state a couple pros and a couple cons of this system preset things that you can use for a map. First of all, the major pro, like pretty much the only pro, is that it saves a lot of time. And time is very important in terms of making a map, because you want to get it out as soon as possible, and so other people can enjoy it. And the longer it takes you to make a map, the longer people have to wait, and the less maps you can also produce. And so yeah, time is a very big pro for this system. And also, if you don't really you forget how to set up stuff, it's already set up for you, so you don't have to do it again. If that annoys you, it's kind of annoying at times, for me at least. And so the only con that I can really think of is, what if you don't use all of these? And it's kind of a lame excuse for a con, because you can just remove them if you don't want them. And so it's a very important, I wouldn't say important, but it's very useful to have a preset world for map making. So if you guys have any ideas for additional modules, I'd like to see them, or hear them, I guess. And if you want to have a download of this map, just tell me in the comments. If you don't say anything, I guess. So I don't have to go, I don't want to upload it and whatnot, go through the process of uploading it. If nobody will download it, there's no real point. But if you guys would like to download it, of course I'll upload it. But that's about it in terms for this. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.